Happy holidays, everyone! Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host, Connie, and today we are here with the final part of our 2025 holiday special and the final reaction of 2025. That is right, we are here with my blind reaction to the 1994 remake of Miracle on 34th Street. The original film was considered by many, and is considered by many, to be one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time. And a lot of people really look at it like as a comfort movie for this time of year. And then there's the remake that is, from what I've gathered, pretty well received. Not as well received as the original. Most people that I've seen have said, oh, I like the remake, but the original is just better. Which honestly is the case for a lot of things with me. There's a lot of times where I'll watch a movie remake or something and it's like, oh, this is good. I like this. I like the original better, but this is still good. I'll give you one great example right now. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I think, is the remake. I think the original is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I might be getting it mixed around, but I think so. Um, but the remake with Johnny Depp, I thought was good. I think is a charming, funny, ridiculously silly film. And honestly, the music is much better, if I'm just being honest. But overall, I do like the original Gene Wilder version better. And Wonka, the newer one, I don't really count that as a remake because it's a prequel. It's not really a remake, so that's its own separate thing. But I like the Gene Wilder one better personally. But I do really like the Johnny Depp one. I think both are good for different reasons. They have very different tones, very different styles, very different highlights to them. I'm not someone who has to pit a movie and its remake entirely against each other. I'm just going to watch it, and if I like it, I like it. I mean, that's pretty much how just all reactions on this channel and just how I watch media in general go. I watch it for the enjoyment of watching it. I'm not a critic. I said this back in my Black Christmas reaction last week as well, or this past Sunday. If if I go into a movie, whether in theaters, whether here in a reaction, I'm not going to be a critic about it. I'm not going to like overanalyze every little point while I'm watching. If something comes to mind, something comes to mind. But I'm watching for the enjoyment of watching a movie, for the sake of just having fun with the film. And with whatever that ends up entailing. And in the case of a movie remake, it's like I'm not going to judge it like as a remake. I'm going to judge it on its own merits. And after I'm done watching it, yeah, I'll like have things to compare and contrast with. But I'm going to judge it based on what I thought of it in that moment while watching. I'm not going to judge it like based on all this technical mumbo jumbo that I feel like half of the critics don't even understand anyway. So, yeah, just saying. Now, like I said, I really did enjoy the original Miracle on 34th Street when we reacted to that, like, I don't know how long ago that was at this point, like a couple years ago, something like that. I don't know. Time is an illusion. It all just goes over my head. But I did enjoy it. I thought it was a very fun, good movie with a lot of heart and just a lot of good, just depth to it. And I'm hoping that this one really captures that as well. I don't know if I know anyone who's in this. Like, I would be more likely than with the original. I just don't know. I don't know, like, any deviations it takes from the original. I haven't heard about any of that kind of stuff. I've just heard the basic, bare bones, like, thoughts from people saying for the most part, people saying that they like both, they just like the original better. But oftentimes I end up hearing like incomplete thoughts anyway. Going back to Black Christmas from last time, if you remember, I thought that movie was hated a lot more than it was. Turns out it's actually got very mixed reactions. There's a lot of people who like it, just as there are people who dislike it. It's the thing is, I've only heard from the people who dislike it, which means that they're just louder. They tend to be like more outspoken about it. Um, and so I've had that occur with other movies too, to where it's like I've only heard like one side of the argument, but then I actually look things up and it's like, oh no, there's actually a lot of people on the other side too. And that could be the case with this. There might be a lot of people who dislike it. I don't know. I'm not going to look anything up, obviously, until afterwards, if I feel like I really want to. But for now, we're just going to go into this and watch the movie and hopefully enjoy it for what it is. And if I don't enjoy it for whatever reason, I'll let you know. But it's all subjective anyway, so let's just get into this and see what we have in store and, well, discover what we think of it together, maybe. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So when it comes to the holiday season, and specifically Christmas for those who celebrate it, there's a lot of motivations for why people celebrate and why they look forward to this time of year. And it just varies wildly depending on a person to person basis. Some people obviously look forward to just the presents, let's be honest here, especially a lot of the kids. Some people really like the just kind of like food and drink and the culinary aspect to Christmas. Christmas has a lot of culinary aspects to it, from eggnog to cookies to the Christmas ham, all kinds of stuff like that. Some people obviously just like the general feeling, the festive, fun, whimsical feeling of the season. And then there's some people who look forward to it for different reasons, for more like deep reasons. Some people look forward to that time of year because it's the only time they get to see family. Some people look for it for religious reasons. And then there's people like myself. People who just believe. I believe in Santa Claus. Not in some magical, mystical man who flies around the world one night a year delivering presents to all the good kids in the world. I believe in what Santa Claus represents. Santa Claus represents hope. Santa Claus represents fun and whimsy. Santa Claus represents goodness in the world. Santa Claus is a representation within media, within children's books, within just culture of the idea that we can be better, that we can be genuinely good, happy, and full of life. And not just one time a year, but all year round. The idea of like children being good all year so that, during Christmas they get good presents and they're not on the naughty list. It's like there's some people who will like say it's like, oh, you're kind of bribing your child and everything. And it's like, that's not what it really represents. It represents the idea that we should strive to be better, not just for material goods, but because that time of the year brings us such joy, such faith, such happiness. Again, even for those who don't celebrate Christmas, a lot of people look forward to this time of year just for the season, just the vibrant festive feeling. Some people look forward to other holidays like Hanukkah or Yule or Kwanzaa. People look forward to this time of year because it's a time of year where we can just live, where we can just focus on being true to our natures. Our natures of being kind, of being loving, and being loved in return. That's why I believe in Santa Claus, because that's something that I need. And that's something that a lot of people need. We need that belief. We need that faith. We need that idea implanted in our minds from childhood to bring us a sense of love. Because love isn't just about romance. It's not just about family. Love comes in every shape and form. Love is such a diverse, powerful emotion. And I feel that love is never better encapsulated at any other time of year than during Christmas, during the holiday season. Just the simple act of wishing someone a happy holidays fills your heart with such warmth, does it not? Being wished a happy holidays. The excitement of getting up on Christmas morning, again, for those who celebrate it. The excitement of getting your gifts every night of Hanukkah. It's like this is stuff that fills us with joy, stuff that fills us with hope and excitement and love. That's what Santa is about. And that's what this movie is talking about. This film surprised me by how equally as good as the original it was. In terms of its casting, in terms of the story being pretty much the same, with maybe a couple tiny little changes. But more so than anything, in terms of its feeling. I enjoyed the original Miracle on 34th Street because of what it said. About our culture, about our lives, about our ability to enjoy the holiday season. And this movie just perfectly copied that. But also made it fresh and modern in a way that speaks to, well, at least the 1990s kids in us. It's like those of us who just get it. You know what I mean? And I think that just like the original one, which I think was from the 40s, I think that this movie is just as timeless. And that's why I'm actually kind of annoyed, because I looked up what people thought of it. This movie is mostly received positively, but it is still mixed. It is a mixed to positive reception, and that's just wild to me. There's a lot of people, more people, who definitely like it, but there are some who feel like it's soulless and like it just doesn't live up to its predecessor. And I feel like a lot of those people are what I was worried about. Critics who were just going into it with the sole intent of comparing it to the original, with also the sole intent of nitpicking every last little thing about it. And I believe with any movie that that's a wrong way to go about it, but I especially believe that with a movie like this. Holiday films should never be about nitpicking details. It should be about enjoying the warmth and the just joy of the season. And again, you're allowed to like or dislike whatever you like or dislike. I'm not telling you you have to love this movie. But I would rather someone dislike it for genuine reasons rather than for nitpicking things based on just ridiculous standards that almost no movie could truly live up to. This movie made me so happy. I felt such genuine joy, so much whimsy, so much fun watching this. That's what this season is about. Again, no matter what you celebrate, or even if you don't celebrate, like what we want more during this season than anything else is love, no matter what form it takes. We want to feel that joy. We want to feel that warmth and whimsy. And I just don't have it in my heart to have that kind of negativity. To watch a movie like this and nitpick every little detail and try to bitch about why it's not as good as the original. I think it is good as the original. I think it's exactly as good as the original. I think that these movies are so equally good and that they deserve to be seen as such because of what they represent. I think this movie is more than good. It's great. I think this movie just like is the perfect movie to not just end this holiday special this year on, but the perfect movie to end the year on. Because this is the kind of shit that I try to preach with my channel, that I try to use this platform, as small as it is, to push. This is the kind of message, the kind of theming, the kind of emotion that I want to inspire in all of you watching. I want you to be able to find that joy, to find that love, and to have, again, no matter what you celebrate, a happy holiday and an amazing year all year round. I'm not here to judge you for your religion. I'm not here to judge you for your gender or sexuality. I'm not here to judge you for your tastes in movies and shows and music and games. I'm not here to judge you on any of that. The reason why I do all of this is because, one, I enjoy it. Just, if I'm being honest, I just like to do it. But also because over the years, a lot of you have told me that you found comfort in this channel. A lot of you have told me that my reactions have brought you joy. A lot of you have taken my messages and my thoughts to heart, and I've seen you talk through things with others, whether in the comments on the Discord. I've seen you be there for this community. Again, as small as it is, and it is small. We are a small community. That is what this channel and what I generally want to push forward. I want us all to be that community Not just at this time of year, but all times of year. And I thank you so much for doing that, for being there for each other, for not just supporting me. I mean, I love that you do support me, but for supporting each other. Because that's so important, and that's something that in this day and age so many people forget to do. There's so many people nowadays that are all about them. And there's nothing wrong with like putting yourself first to a degree. Because how can you help others if you can't help yourself first, right? But there's so many people out there who will only put themselves first, who only focus on their own desires and needs, to a point where they not just ignore other people, but actively put them down because it doesn't align with their desires. And that's just fucked up. That's just not okay. And it's something I never want to see from this channel and this community. It's something I just won't abide by. I do not accept treating others like that. We need to put each other up. We need to focus on the good things. And there's going to be things that I watch that I don't like. And I'm going to say it, and I'm going to be verbal about it. Even if it's something that I really hate to the point where I get mad. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But there's a reason why in all of my reactions I always say that it's my subjective opinion. Why I always make clear that you are allowed to disagree with me. That you are allowed to form your own thoughts, and you can, if you love a movie that I hate, I support that. Not, I don't just accept it, I support it. Because that means that you have found something that made you happy, that got you excited, that made you feel like that was a good time spent. And how can that possibly be bad? How can that possibly be a bad thing? I've seen so many people attack me and attack others for their tastes in, again, movies, shows, music, video games. Whether they're attacking me and others for not liking something or liking something. I've seen this so often throughout my life. And there have been times where I unfortunately have engaged in it. I try not to, but sometimes I do fall under that trap, and I'll admit it. And when I realize it, it usually breaks my heart to know that I said things like that to someone. And I try my best to never do that because I don't want to be that kind of person. The kind of person that others have been to me that upsets me. This movie just means so much. Again, because of what it's saying. This movie isn't out to prove there's a Santa. That's not the point. It's about what the season represents. Let's focus on the positive, the silly and whimsical. Let's focus on the things that make us happy, that bring us joy and warmth. That's what it's about. That's the reason for the season. More than anything else. But to actually delve more into the film, because I've been speaking for almost 20 minutes, I think now, according to my recording timer, without actually talking about the movie much. It's like I said in the reaction, but the cast was spot on. Everyone lived up to their role perfectly and just performed just as excellently as those did in the original. Every time I've seen Mara Wilson in anything, it's brought me immense joy. She's honestly probably one of the biggest reasons that I've always wanted kids, that I've always wanted to be a mother. Seeing children like her makes me so hopeful for the future. And she's an adult now. I think she's around the same age as I am, a little older actually, because obviously she's like what, 5 or 6 here, and this movie came out like 2 years before I was, or 2 years after I was born. I was born in 1992, so she's a little bit older than me. Um, but it's like again, outside of Hell of a Boss, where she was just doing a voice of a character, I think I've only like seen her like act as a child. I might be wrong, but it's like all these movies, whether again this, Matilda, Mrs. Doubtfire, she's just always such a spot of joy in those films. And she was a great young actress. Like the amount of precociousness and like talent that she exuded with every line read, it's like she just always like really wowed me. And I just always bought into every emotion she portrayed in her roles. And then you have Richard Attenborough, who, again, I don't know if I've actually seen in too much. I know him more for, like, he's known for documentaries of nature and stuff. But, like, seeing him in this, it's like he was perfect. That's Santa Claus to me. And all the other actors, whether I have seen them in anything else or not and just don't know it, all of them lived up to their roles. Everyone really sold every single thing as perfectly as they could. The story was just as good as the original. It was pretty much exactly the same. Like, I don't, it wasn't exactly the same. Like, there were a couple little differences here and there, but they were so minute. It's like the story played out pretty much exactly the same. And it's just, there was so much to love here. So much that brought me so much joy. And, like, this just made me so happy to finally have seen. It lived up to the original in every way. And it's just as much a Christmas classic. It's just as much a good movie, a great movie. And honestly, there's even some things I liked more, personally. Most notably, the music. I thought the music was better. I'll say it, I don't care. But either way, I hope that all of you watching, no matter what holiday you celebrate, or if you don't even celebrate a holiday at this time of year, I hope you have a wonderful season. I hope that you spend time with your loved ones, that you enjoy the festivities, or just enjoy, the warmth of a good glass of eggnog, a good sugar cookie, whatever you eat and drink during this time of year. I hope that you find love. No matter what that means to you, no matter what you need love in. I hope that more than anything, that you are happy, that you're fulfilled, that you are joyful, and that going into 2026, you find not just a reason, but a desire to continue on and be the best you that you deserve to be. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for tuning into the channel throughout the year for those of you who have. Thank you for continuing to just support this channel and this community going into 2026. This may be the final reaction on this channel for the year, but we've got so much ahead of us, and I'm so excited for what I have in store. I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next year.